think the mods, if anyone's around, you guys can run some polls if you want. Some predictions. We're gonna hop on here with Jimbo and LowKeySuicide, and Sad, I'm gonna go ahead and let you take over.
Sure, yeah. So Jim's getting ahead on Sorum. Contesting for the time being, it looks like Jim was able to take out Sorum on that nade, get initial position set up, and LowKey is able to trade as well. A little bit choppy on my end. If you could take over, sorry about.
Yeah, no worries. So here we have LowKeySuicide. He's gonna be taken out there by Sorum. Jimbo also taking out Sorum. Levelz, nice little wipe there. Gonna get those points that they lost early in the rotation here. Gonna be curious to see if these guys are rotating early. We do have LowKeySuicide hitting over through white, trying to take these spawns. We're gonna see if these spawns are gonna hold the exact same way. Jimbo was able to take out both of them, I believe. And he's gonna go and try and get this cut off here over by lights. So for people who haven't, who are just joining us, we are doing a 2v2 hardpoint tournament for the Call of Duty Rec League. As it is right now, it is looking very evenly matched between these two teams. It's obviously only the first 2 points. And they're just kind of trading back and forth. You know, you can look at the score. It's 27-27. And I think, Sad, if you're, oh, lost him there. Anyways, LowKeySuicide, Levelz taking one out over on the, oh, takes 2 out there. Nice. And this is what's going to get it started, right? You're going to want to take a look and see which team is going to be able to take out 2 players at a time. And not only that, be able to hold. Sorum getting caught out there over by elbow on the rotation from JimboSlice. Levelz going to have to make his way over. Sorum doing the exact same thing. And Levelz about to run into somebody here. Going to win that gunfight. So now they know where the guy is over on the hill. Levelz pretty much being told, like, hey, make sure you take care of this spawn. Picks him up right away. Now, that's the kind of communication that you guys need to realize is going on during these 2v2s. You're going to see these guys run into each other a lot. But you're also going to realize that at times, these guys are just going to pick each other off or pick up each other's sentences, just kind of where they left off. That's kind of what the ideal...
Being, you see this...
Sorry, go ahead, Sam.
For the time being, see the setup on the side of Sorum for the spawns, at least, contesting for the time being. You see Sorum does get the trade in hill, and it does turn back to Jimbo and LowKey. You see, if you look on your map, the 1 and 2 of Sorum and Levelz are going to be rotating around to this back bus spawn. These spawns are going to be, you know, advantageous for this street side. Not so much for the next hill, that first hill as we rotate. But see if we can get some time here as Sorum does take out LowKey as the intro kill. Kills being traded. Levelz is able to take out Jimbo at Globe. For the time being, team's not really challenging this hill, just kind of picking off the pushes, and I think we could chalk that up to, as we were saying earlier, kills are going to be more important here in this 2v2 setup. If you can break hill with your team and force spawns out, you know that you have some time then to soak up time in hill. And as we say that, Sorum does pick off LowKey, and the 2 are down for the side of Jimbo and LowKey as Sorum soaks up some of the time here. I don't know that we'll see early rotation off this hill. It is pretty close to the first hill in middle.
Yeah, I think this is probably one of the rotations that it's more important to try and work the next hill, P2. So right now, it just kind of seems that it's important to these guys to pick up as much time as possible. And I kind of agree with them on this because the map is so large. It's difficult to kind of chalk up any given amount of time. 15-20 seconds that you give up on P2 while you're rotating to 3 is pretty much the rotation. So like if you let go of 15-20 seconds and you lose, you literally not only costed yourself 15 seconds from that initial hill, but you also lost another 15 as we see Levelz go on a 5 kill spree here.
Right, and to your point, this already set up for this P2 hill. I saw Levelz came off of the hill with 25 seconds left just to make sure that he can trade effectively in those window kills and push back for those spawns. He managed to get one window as well as mid, push back a bit, and he got the better positioning here for his team as he gets, taken out by LowKey for the spawns. LowKey and Jimbo on that top cop do have the spawns now for this P2 hill.
Yeah, you can see here that it's very, very difficult when you get taken out, because you spawn so far. So you had Levelz and Sorum spawn over by escalators. In a 4v4, it's not too big of a deal because you kind of come in waves. But in 2v2, you almost always know that you're about to get traded, and it's very difficult to go forward that way.
There's that major choke point there outside of, as you're pushing through apartments here, 2P2. You see P1 Sorum, he's already rotated around, so he's going to give up that remaining 13 seconds. He recognizes that the spawns here are going to be more crucial. If you can get a good 60 seconds on this hill before rotation, you're right back in it. You're laid down by 30 seconds. And to that point, you also have better positioning in the rotation, 2P4.
Yeah, as you saw there too, Levelz was able to take one out, but he spawned directly on the hill. So that rotation worked out for them perfectly, but it's going to be weird to see if these guys can call that rotation here. And LowKey being able to take out one, takes out both of them. Yeah, that spawn was just very, very difficult for them. I don't know if they called rotations to each other, but that was definitely a point where they needed to at least turn around.
Right. Time being, we have spawns here. LowKey doing his best to keep those as Sorum pushes through elbow and gets taken out. You'd be interested in, seeing if as Sorum spawns here, is he going to be rotating to that street side? And it looks like Sorum and LowKey and Jimbo are going to be doing just that. Sorum and Levelz. Shouldn't have even corrected myself twice, but we're good.
Yeah, so it looks like Jimbo's going to go through the back here. See if he can pick up anybody. No, he's going to be hidden.
Jump up window is such a tough spot to check. You should always check that spot, but it's so difficult to see the people who are there. So he picks up quick two-piece to force spawns out as the time goes away of Sorum and Levelz for the time being. Up 172 to 141, a cozy 30-second lead. Gets another kill onto Jimbo. And they know that they're going to be spawning out this end of this street now that they have control of this back bus spawn.
Yeah, Sorum and Levelz get into a nice little groove there. He does get taken out by a grenade. I'm curious to see what he's running if he doesn't have flak jacket. I guess if he's running an AR, it might be a little bit different. Yeah, if he's running the M4, it's probably tac mask. But like I said, they were getting into a nice little groove there. We were able to get a nice 50-point lead going into this next rotation here. And we're going to have to see if they can continue it here.
Difficult gunfight there for Jimbo to win if he's not looking to check that corner immediately. LowKey is just, Levelz is just set up waiting for that push from mid. He knows that they were just spawning there when the control for P4 was set up on the side of bus. Yeah, and so far the time being, time is going to be going for Jimbo and LowKey up 200 to 160.
Yeah, LowKey has been getting a lot of nice two pieces, and as I say that, Sorum picks up one of his own. Well, I guess 3 if you count that one. And that's huge, right? You have 40 points up until you win this map here. Level's going to be able to pick up at least another 10 seconds on there. And Sorum already with the rotation. And it looks like LowKey is kind of making sure that there's nobody in these corners. So JimboSlice and LowKey taking control of this P2. And Levelz and Sorum have a pinch here. We're going to see if these guys can take over and, get these kills that they need on this hill.
So important if Levelz is able to get him off the top cop, but if they can get the remainder of this time here, they can win off this hill. Although you'd wonder if they would just give it up at this point, get the early rotation and set up, which they might do now that they've spawned back Esky 1 and 2 and Sorum and Level. But no, it looks like they're going to be hitting one more time, try to get a few seconds in contest. We'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, Levelz picking up a nice two-piece there. And they're going to pick up those last couple of seconds. And he's going to be the one rotating. I think it's a little choppy on this end. I believe Levelz might be lagging here. Switch on over to JimboSlice and LowKey here. Yeah, and I think that's just on Levelz end.
See this pinch child, number 6, and LowKey. He's so far out of the hill. The pinch play of LowKey is coming through well. Number 6, he has 1 to beat on the top plat. 1 is going to be LowKey's side stairs, and he gets taken out by Sorum. So we have 240, 196 as we battle for the spawns here. Jimbo does manage to hold on Sorum, trades him out. It looks like there's not enough time to get back to this hill contest. That's going to be 250 to 196 by the side of Sorum and Levelz.
Yeah, there's a lot of two pieces here. LowKeySuicide getting a lot of crucial two pieces throughout this map, but it just seemed like the rotations from Levelz and Sorum were a little bit better, especially over on that P3. They had a lot more pinches, is what I've noticed. A lot more pinches that succeeded is probably what I would go with. As we swap over here to our lovely casters.
That AR, that 1-in-1 AR sub push, and I am going to say, if somebody pre-fires this plane, I'm going to donate 5 subs. I'm always saying it. No one ever does it. And does that count? Do we count?
I wouldn't count it as a pre-fire. No. It is a good place to pre-fire, right? And it goes both ways. You can literally shoot both ways. It's just not worth it to me to run that direction. You just always hit the outer. So Jimbo and LowKey starting off with a very good 17-second lead. Sorum and Levelz trying to stay active, stay on their toes, just kind of figure out where these guys are spawning. LowKey trying to wall bang that, and at this point they're just going to contest. And I'm curious to see if these guys are going to. Sorum pushes and he gets traded out, but I wanted to see if any of these guys would go and grab the P2 spawns.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that. Luckily, as LowKey spawned, he did spawn a bit further back crates, so he was able to pick up those P2 spawns. He's in hill now. There's not really anyone pushed, back anchoring as much as I would love to see for a setup like this, but it looks like they are able to at least get the first wave of kills here in Jimbo. Let's see if they can get anyone else here as Levelz is taking out 2.
Yeah, I don't even know if you anchor in a 2v2 as much as you would in a 4v4, right? Like, if you sit too far back, you cannot pick up that trade. So you guys almost have to watch where each other is spawning as Sorum picks up a nice 2-piece there going into this last 15 seconds of P2 time.
It looks like Sorum is going to be getting up the scrap here as we have an early setup of the Jimbo up in the top plane. It looks like LowKey as well are on the outside wing.
In my opinion, I think that the P2 to P3 rotation is going to be the difference maker on this map, because it's, well, I guess 2, 3, 4, because they are so close, and it's going to come down to whoever can control the bottom side of the plane. So usually I think 4v4, that top side is very, very important, but being so split from each other, like having the top plane and bottom plane, is almost not even worth it. You guys need to be able to trade, even though sitting at the top of the plane is going to allow you to see where these guys are.
Yeah, and I think we're seeing some of that in Sorum, getting the positioning himself here by crates and down to bottom plane, trying to get some picks here. It seems like it's pretty. It's gonna be a really, really scrappy hill here on two-man setup. You're not really gonna be having many people maybe playing lane position points and power positions. It's going to be pretty much 2 people on the hill, 2 people challenging the hill. Whether that be challenging from either side or at the same time, we'll see. But as we say that and move on to the third hill here in crates, we're going to see Levelz and Sorum with the early setup as LowKey is able to get the first hit on Sorum and push out. Does not see Jim Hogan. Oh, I was just gonna get hyped for the 2Ps, but Levelz taken out. And Sorum back on the hold for the time being, contesting at the moment.
Yeah, Levelz able to pick up that trade there. So this kill kind of went both ways. I'm curious to see if the next rotation Levelz and Sorum are gonna, try something a little bit different. They are down a couple of points. Sorum already rotated over, sitting over at this box heady, doing a really good job of, taking these guys out as they move towards the hill. And Jimbo doing an absolutely fantastic job with that 74U.
Right off of the heady. That's a sub versus an AR here on the power play positioning. Levelz isn't so sure if there's two people in hill here or one. Oh, and he goes out and hits him on the bottom of the god heady on wood. And does he get the second? No, Levelz helps him out with this. Oh, sorry.
That's huge. I mean, that's one of those plays where, as a Call of Duty player, you grab as much information as you can as quickly as possible, and you kind of figure out where this guy is sitting, right? If they had to be talking to each other, it's like, I don't see him here, I don't see him here. Okay, he can only be in this corner. And that's exactly what Levelz did. That's what he saw. And he's able to eagle chow him. And he was successful with it. As he picks up one coming into the hill. And he picks up both of them up.
Through, and he gets two piece on the hill for Levelz. That's going to force spawns out to, for the time being, the better spawns are, actually they spawn pretty close.
Yeah, they did spawn on this old hill here.
Out more closer to P2 as you'd imagine is typical, but that was interesting. Sorum able to slide and does not get that kill.
Levelz picks that last one up, and just like that, the lead was pretty much gone. And this is pretty much what happens in 2v2, right? They were down 60 points, and now they're, pretty much right toe-to-toe to these guys, actually taking the lead as well. So it's very important to make sure that you can continuously hold that momentum. That first rotation momentum went to Jimbo and LowKey, but towards the end, Levelz and Sorum were able to take it back. And now this game is pretty much neck and neck.
Time being, with 10 seconds left until you see Jimbo is already set up on that P2 side. So for the time being, the early setup is going the way of Jimbo and LowKey. As we say that, it looks like number 5 of Levelz is trying to do a cheeky little flanker on the backside for spawn, and he was able to force the spawns of Sorum. So for their, the first few seconds go away, Jimbo, hopefully they know that they're back here. Jimbo does know, able to pick up one. Does Jimbo get the second to keep this hill time? And no, he gets taken out by Levelz. So that push, as we were saying, the rotations are these critical on this 2v2 setup. Levelz flanks around the back, Sorum spawns on top of him. They're able to retake for this P2 time.
Yeah, that was a very wild turn of events there, right? You kind of see Levelz and Sorum spawn in the back. Levelz with a nice shot punch there. And they're going to get the rest of this 20 points here. But like I was saying, it was interesting to see those guys spawn in the back. They get one kill, and those trades just started going back and forth, and then spawns just all over the place. In terms of, how close they were to the hill, every single one of those guys had the potential to just continuously slay out.
There's an interaction here at crate side. Number 6 of Sorum is coming up behind. Oh no, it looks like it's going to be LowKey in the hill by himself for the moment. Does get the kill on the Sorum. And it looks like they're going to be spawning the P2 and the right side of your minimap there. So for the time being, Jimbo and LowKey do have the better spawns for P3 as well after this, P4 after this hill.
So both teams, if you look at the score lines, are pretty much neck and neck, right? And this just kind of goes to show you how some of these teams are so close when it comes to, slaying out communications and stuff like that. I'm gonna hop on board here with Levelz, and Sorum already rotating, see if we can pick each other. Both of these guys have the exact same idea. Jimbo wins that one. That 74U up close is a little bit better. These guys are touching hands, man.
LowKey knows you're there, and you see, they know that they're both on the top side of that minimap there, so they know that they're going to be forcing spawns out to the bottom side, that P5 area and wood. Looks like the pinch is coming through. Can he pick up Levelz? Does get the second. So it looks like Levelz and Sorum are doing a great job of these pinch rotations. They are getting the information on one side, getting the kill, if not the others getting the trade, and making sure that they do pick up the second as well for the time. And as we say that the time being, and as well as the spawns, are going the way of Level and Sorum here early in the P4 hill.
And it's times like these, right, that it's super important to make sure that you're getting each other's trades. But when you clear that hill, you have to hold it. That's what's going to give you that that lead. Jimbo, LowKey doing a fantastic job. Early rotations, grabbing those early 20, 30 points. But Levelz and Sorum do a fantastic job of not only breaking these guys, but holding that first wave that is the Jimbo and LowKey push.
Right, and to your point, not only holding the hill, but also maybe pushing out as far back as possible to know that you're forcing spawns the opposite direction of the hill. And as we said, that Sorum with a huge two-piece to try to push these spawns out backwood. So get one more on Jimbo, he does not. He's not able to pick up Jimbo. Jimbo with a huge kill, Levelz for the time being by himself. He knows that they can only be pushing out from hill as Jimbo. Jimbo's all over the map right now, and he's doing everything.
Yeah, I was really surprised to see him push there, as opposed to maybe just holding an off angle. Jimbo and LowKey starting to break that 200-point mark. Like as I say, that Levelz and Sorum are doing the exact same thing there. So this might really come down to the wire.
Yeah, and I was going to ask you the same thing. With there only being, 40 seconds remaining for both teams, how important is this P1 going to be? I mean, are we going to maybe see a lot of contesting? Is it going to be, are people going to be worrying so much about the P2 spawns here?
Honestly, with it being this close, and it really just depends, with JimboSlice taking out Sorum as well as himself, you're going to want to see more of... if it was me, I would just try and contest as much as possible and have one of these guys try and pick up the spawns for P2. Right? Like, as they're doing here, they're going to contest. I don't think anybody's going to peek at all.
You see, I'm not even sure how to call it. It's a lot of pre-firing here. It's a lot of, clearly if we're on this side of the plane, they're in the same position opposite of us. And Jimbo has had the early rotation on the too. He's in that back tube area in wood. He's pushing up the stairs, interestingly enough, because I guess LowKey does have the hill time for the time being. And Levelz, he's going to break this hill through tube if he can. He tricks them and runs through bottom wood. Huge kill here. He picks them up in hill. Levelz knows that Jimbo spawned out back. Sorum doing his best to pre-fire the back storage.
LowKey spawned so far.
Yeah, I was going to say, number 1 is bringing back P4 as well, or P5, I'm sorry. So they know it's going to be one more wave of kills here if they can. And Jimbo is able to, LowKey is able to come and challenge that. They do get the time. This is insane back and forth gameplay here. Levelz, do they know he's back here? He does. LowKey is able to pick him up. Sorum does push out the hill.
Sorum's going to win it off of this.
The time being. Yeah, they spawn way too far out mid.
That was huge. That was an absolutely close game. It doesn't get any closer. It might be 12 points of difference, but this kill here, right as he gets it on Levelz, taking out Sorum as well, that was a fight that Sorum needed to win. He didn't. Luckily, Levelz does spawn on the better side here, and at least is able to get a couple shots on him.